Well, students, we're going to keep glazing. We'll be able to finish these up today. The first thing is I would like you to know that you need to sit at the table that has the same color that you used last time. So I used the pink glaze, which is here, but at that table there will either be black or there will be red. So there will be black or red at those spots to begin. Now, if there's black, use the black first. If there's red, use the red first, and then you'll go back to using your main color, which would be pink. So let's pretend black is at the table where I'm working. So instead of using the pink, I'm going to be using this little brush, and I'm going to put the details onto most likely the nose. So you can see here, this cat, I did just the triangle. I stopped right there and I just did the triangle shape for the nose. So then that is black, and then I would be done with that. I tried to make these glazes kind of thick so that 2 coats would be enough. And these little brushes usually will do a good job staying kind of in those detailed spaces. So I'm just gonna get glaze just on the tip of the brush. I wanted to do just this little detailed section here. And this just needs to kind of drip in there and just kind of take a drop. And then I'm gonna take one more, and that might be just enough, because whether you realize it or not, it's kind of filling up that detail. So hold it in your hand, kind of be steady with it, but I'm gonna be careful not to move my brush too much. That really would be enough of that black glaze to make that black. When you're done, just kind of wipe off your brush, and you can set that brush at the end of your table. And if you're done with the black glaze, then move that to the end of your table so you don't put your brush in the wrong cup. And then move the pink here to the middle of your table. And then I'm gonna continue with my third, or it might be your 4th coat of glaze. Please remember to hold it so you can put a line around the bottom so I don't get glaze on the bottom of my sculpture. So whether you think you have a 3rd coat of glaze on or not, go around it. Because more often than not, students tend to have a little less glaze on than they might think. And then I'm gonna do the same stuff that I did last time by going around the eyes. And then I'm gonna go around the mouth. And then I'm gonna go around here. And once I kind of go around everything, then it's gonna be good to kind of put like a guideline around all of this stuff so I don't end up getting glaze on the sections that I don't want glaze. So we're gonna go around this, turning it in your hand. Usually you'll know you're doing a good job, and you'll know that you have 3 coats of glaze on when it takes a long time for it to dry. So you can see like this is taking a long time to dry, which means that I probably have 3 to 4 coats on that section. I'm gonna be careful that this pink does not touch the black, because then you can see it's still drying. So I don't wanna let that touch, because if I do, then it would smear the black right into my pink, and then that would be a little bit tricky to fix. So for this example, I'm gonna stop here. I'm not gonna do those small circles right now because I wanna let those dry. While I'm letting that dry, I can kind of flip it over and I can glaze the back. And then while you're working on that, I'm gonna switch the black and the red glazes. So if you had black to start, I'll take the black and I'll pick that up because that will already be done, and then I'll put red there instead. And if your table had red, I will take that away, and then I will put the black there, okay? So we're gonna just pretend that I'm done. You can see that spot's drying really fast, so that spot means that it does not have enough glaze. So I'll come back and I'll put another coat of glaze on that section. So we'll go here, I'm gonna stop here, because I want to give you guys enough time to work. So glaze these ears. Let's just pretend that I did that ear. I'm gonna not do that right now just so I have something where I can pick it up where it's just for this example, but yes, you should get glaze all over that section. Now for the red, I would just move this over so that you don't put it in put your brush in to the wrong color. And I'm gonna pick this up and I would use a brush. Typically it'll be clean or it'll already have red glaze on it. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put this right into this section for the inside of the mouth. I take a drop and kind of steer that drop of glaze. Being careful that the pink does not touch the red. And just kind of get that section carefully. That's why just taking a drop of glaze and kind of pushing it and kind of steering it where you want it to go is probably the best route. I did try to make this red a little bit on the thicker side of things too, so this is probably enough. Like 2 thick coats for the red will be enough. Now last part, if you wanted your eyes to be black, if you wanted this inside part of the eye to be black, then you could do that when the black is at your table. If you don't want this to be black and you want it to be blue like these, I probably will call groups over and say, if you would like blue for your eyes, you may come over and then we can do those. So this is what the blue looks like. It looks kind of like a light purple, but it's really blue. So I'm gonna take this, and when I call you up, if you want the eye to be blue, kind of the same thing, we'll just take a drop of glaze and we're just gonna put it on the middle of the eye. I'm gonna leave the outside of the eye white. So you can just take your drop of glaze and put it on here. But if you wanted your eyes to be black, you can make the little circle on your eye black when you have the black glaze. Same thing with this. I try to make this on the thicker side so that you can just use probably 2 coats. So we'll glaze that. And then once this is dry, I did put it on pretty thick. So it's taken a while to dry the inside of that inside circle is good. I'm just gonna put a little more on this outside edge and a little bit more on the edge of this. And then that should be enough. But you can see that I left the outside of the eye white, okay? If at any time you think that you're done, I would like you just to add an extra coat of glaze to make sure that you're, that this glaze that main color is thick enough. So here, it's dry enough. I'm gonna go back to my pink, making sure I'm using the glaze that has the pink glaze on it. And since I was holding it there, we'll go here, and then I'll brush that on and make sure that ear gets glazed too. So if anytime you're thinking you're done, please just let it dry. If it's dry, you can pick it up, and then you can get 1 more coat on just to be sure. So if you ever need to set your brush down, I'm hoping you're noticing, I am never leaning the brush on the cup. You can wipe it off, and you can set your brush on the table, but don't lean it on the cup because we don't want the cup to spill. So let's have fun finishing these up.